First question: who is Zezima for you? By the way, I don't know anything about RuneScape, so I'm just asking.
Right. I wonder who asked the question as well. I'm curious.
No, it's anonymous.
Do you have it on your list who asked the question?
It's anonymous. They're safe.
Okay. Well, just as background information for you, Zezima was like the most famous player back in the day because he was rank 1. So everyone looked up to him and everyone always followed him around in game when they saw him because he was so famous. But lately, he's been a bit weird on Twitter mainly. Like he's been a bit of a laughingstock. Other than that, I don't really know him that well. I don't have that much of an opinion on him. He does follow me on Twitter, I follow him, but we've never really interacted other than just me looking at his tweets and thinking, what the hell is he doing? So.
I'm so sorry, I didn't want to instigate any.
No, there's nothing drama about it. There's nothing wrong with it. But
okay. I thought it was like a character from RuneScape or something.
No, he's an actual person, yeah.
Okay. Do you have the Dragon Axe?
The Dragon Axe. Okay. So I think I know who asked that question. No, I don't have the Dragon Axe yet. I've spent about almost half a year now trying to get it in a very silly manner, but I don't have it yet. But hopefully I'll have it soon so I can move on and do the next thing in game.
Okay. Who is tedious?
What does that mean? That is very open-ended.
No, like someone in chat asked, but who is it?
Oh, I see. So they random checked me. They essentially said WH Omega lol is what they said.
No, totally not. It's like people who don't know you from
right.
Belgium.
Well, I'm a RuneScape content creator. I've been playing RuneScape for the majority of my life, and I've been doing content creation on RuneScape for about 4 years now, about 3 years full time. And that's pretty much all I do. I wake up, I play RuneScape, and I go back to sleep. So that's me.
Do you have do you have a two-handed sword or a dagger?
It's a short sword. It's not a dagger, but it's a short sword. We'll go with that.
Okay.
A little in between.
Is the culture on I don't know if that's whatever. Is the culture on RuneScape noticeably changed across your career?
Phew. I'm not sure about that. That's a very loaded question, I feel. I'm not really sure how to answer that.
You have to.
Well, I mean, for me, nothing much has changed because I've always interacted with the same like-minded people. I feel like in general, but I don't think this really applies to RuneScape alone. I feel like people make more drama about everything and that changes how people interact with each other, but I don't feel like that affects me or that I'm involved with that. So for me, nothing really has changed, I'd say.
Because for me, I think your Twitter is really funny.
Hilarious, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of why I like you, because I don't watch the RuneScape content, so...
well, maybe you should.
Yeah, maybe I should. But have you noticed on Twitter you have to be more careful? Like,
I mean, I think so. I think everyone feels that way, right? I mean, I can say this much. I joined an organization like a year ago called Method. You probably know Method. And when they announced that for every new person joining the organization, they would do a social media background check, I definitely made sure to delete some old tweets of mine. But other than that,
Which ones?
I will not further explain or specify what those tweets were.
What happened the night Frepsel? What happened the night Frepsel came to sleep?
Not a whole lot. Nothing too special as far as I'm aware. I slept in the bed with one of my best friends, and she slept on the couch with my pink bear. And yeah, that's about it.
Is that a nickname for someone?
No, it's a pink bear. You saw it earlier when you were in my apartment, or maybe you missed it. It was in the small room.
Yeah, I didn't. Oh yeah.
Not a euphemism for anything whatsoever.
The small dark room. Is it RuneScape or rune-scape?
It's RuneScape. Yeah, rune-scape is one of the jokes. One of my my friends in high school, his mother was the English teacher of us. She always used to make that joke and think it was hilarious as well. So maybe that
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It does sound like a boomer joke.
Yeah, exactly.
If RuneScape ever quits, are there other MMOs you would play?
See, the thing is, RuneScape is so unique, and I don't feel like you can compare it to any other MMO. There's not really any other MMO that I've tried for a long period of time. I think I played World of Warcraft once during like a beta, literally years ago. I don't even remember when it was. And I also played Final Fantasy once because I had a channel point reward on my stream where someone redeemed it to make me play it. But I don't know, I'm so used to only playing RuneScape and it's so different to everything else that I feel like I would have a hard time getting used to a different MMO. I don't know if I would be able to get into it or if I would even want to at this point. If RuneScape would die, I don't know if I would explore other MMOs. The only one I'm kind of looking forward to is the one that is going to be released by Riot, but who knows when that is going to happen because they've been alluding to that for years and
because you're a
it's
big
taken
fan
a while.
Of Valorant.
No, because I've played League of Legends a lot more, mainly. Not a fan of Valorant whatsoever, never touching the game again, which also applies to League of Legends, but yeah.
Is RuneScape just not toxic enough for you?
Let's not go there.
Yeah, it's really random, but how did you enter Lowland Lions?
Ooh, wow.
Maybe also explain
that
what it is.
That is literally like 10 years ago now, right? So Lowland Lions was one of the big esports organizations in the Benelux. I think I joined literally 10 years ago, like in 2013. So I was playing League of Legends for I think about a year at that point. And I'm pretty sure it was just on a Facebook post. So I was playing for a while, I reached a fairly high rank, I was like one of the better players in our small region. And I think they made a Facebook post that they were looking for a new mid laner, so the role that I was playing. So I just reacted to that and ended up joining the team that way. Ended up playing for them for like half a year, I think, at that point. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just through a Facebook post. Yeah. Pretty old-fashioned.
Why did you switch from League of Legends to old school RuneScape?
Well, so originally I played RuneScape like way back when. I started in like 2004 and I played for a long time, but then I ended up switching to Call of Duty in like high school when most of my friends switched as well. And then when I went to college, I got in touch with people that made me play or try out League of Legends in like season 2, so I think 2012. But then, I started playing League of Legends pretty much most of the time. But then in 2013, old school RuneScape came out. So that was like the old version of RuneScape again that everyone loved, and I really wanted to try that out. So I just tried that out at the release, played it a little bit, and then I just constantly switched between old school RuneScape and League of Legends for a few years, really. Still to like last year, I was still switching. I was still playing League of Legends every now and then. But yeah, I just ended up playing RuneScape all the time now because it's my job, and I decided to focus on it a lot more.
Does it never bore you? This is not on the paper.
Okay. I mean, obviously, to most outsiders, RuneScape is like the most boring game ever because you just do the same thing over and over for literally like hundreds of hours sometimes. But at the same time, it's very comforting knowing that you can just grind something out for hours and it's just chill, and you can do other stuff on the side most of the time. And I don't know, there's always something new to do as well. Like throughout the years, I've made so many different accounts, playing in so many different ways. And you can just keep the game interesting in that way by always inventing your own way to play, essentially. So that's mainly my way of keeping it fun and interesting for myself, and also like nowadays for other people to watch.
What is the longest you've ever played RuneScape in one sitting?
Well, I've done several 24-hour streams where I, pretty much played RuneScape the entire time. I think I've done like 5 at this point. So that's, at least 24 hours. But maybe back in the day, I probably had some like sleepovers with friends where we would just play RuneScape all night as well. So maybe we played for longer than 24 hours at some point.
Longer.
But I don't really like vividly remember any of those moments that I would have done that. But yeah, definitely at least 24 hours in the recent streams the last few years.
Would you ever care to break the 24 hours?
I mean, I could probably, because usually after a 24 hour, like I usually started like when I wake up around like 10 o'clock, and then, you know, I stream 24 hours and it's 10 o'clock again, and then I can't really sleep yet because it's like bright outside and stuff, and I just feel like tired, but I can't sleep. So I feel like I can probably just do another, like a couple more hours after that. But usually at that point, you know, your body is so tired and it becomes a mental test as well. But yeah, I don't really think I'll ever feel like pushing the 24-hour limit, especially because I'm getting so old nowadays.
That's true.
Yeah, you should say anything about that.
Coffee or tea, and why?
Not a big fan of either. Usually I would say tea if I had to choose. Like I like tea every now and then. I've tried coffee, but I just don't really like it. I just have an energy drink every morning instead of a coffee, which isn't better, but yeah.
Every morning?
Yeah, that's my breakfast pretty much.
Which one?
Nowadays I've been drinking E-Energy from Albert Heijn. It's pretty good. I mean,
yeah, I can't edit it to Red Bull. So.
It's a morning routine.
What is the secret for a successful YouTube channel?
Again, a pretty loaded question because there's so many that goes into it, I'd say. Obviously, part of it is also luck. Like I think with everything in life, if you like want to be successful, there's always some part of luck involved as well. But obviously there's many things you can do to like, you know, influence that and get as many eyes on your content as possible. Like there's a lot of things that I try to do. I would say the main things that I've been focusing on recently is like mainly trying to see what like the bigger creators in the same field do, like what their way of introducing their videos is, how long their videos are, in which way they build their videos, what their title thumbnail combinations are to try and get, you know, impressions. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that go into it, I don't know. But yeah, those are like the main things I focus on, I guess. And obviously always try to have like somewhat unique content that people think, oh, I want to watch more of that, but I can't find it elsewhere because you're the only person that makes this type of content. And that's how you get like loyal subscribers as well, I think, because they always return to watch your videos. I think those are like the main things that I focus on, yeah.
Where would you like to travel to?
I always find that funny. Like I get stuff like that in my live stream a lot as well, but I've never really like went on a holiday or a vacation. Like the only time I've ever went on an actual holiday was when I was like 10 years old. I went to Spain twice with my mom. But other than that, I don't have any traveling experience other than literally for like League of Legends tournaments in like other countries. And I don't know, I think because I lack that experience, I don't really have things that I really want to go to or look forward to ever visiting. I feel like I don't really have that desire unless it would be with someone else that, you know, I would like to spend time with and visit other places. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe we can go somewhere.
Oh, me? Oh, yeah.
Why not?
Okay, well, I don't know how to translate this, but or yeah, I can. The Ardennes or the sea.
I'm not a fan of the sea. I'll just leave it at that.
Not.
No.
No.
Yeah, I just don't like the sea. I feel like, you know, memories of me visiting the sea with family has always been bad memories. And like you have the sand that just gets everywhere. It's just wind that cuts your skin, and it's just not a pleasant experience. I also have the one memory where we went to the sea and on the way back we had a car accident, so that probably doesn't help either with that. But yeah, I feel like I enjoy like being in like foresty environments a lot more. So yeah, something like this. It's beautiful here, right? So I feel like I would probably prefer the Ardennes by a lot.
Okay, next you have to choose between two sea spots: Benidorm or Lloret del Mar.
Poor. I mean,
you have to choose.
I have to choose. I mean, I feel like Benidorm is usually like the old people place, and then Lloret del Mar is like the party place, right? So I feel like maybe I qualify more for the other, but I prefer Loretta Mar. Let's go with that. Yeah. Can't say I've been to either, but let's just say I'll prefer that one.
What does it take for you to find a YouTube video nice?
I'm trying to think of like videos I've watched recently that I've found interesting enough to like sit through the entire way, because usually like a lot of videos I would like start watching but instantly tune out because it's just not interesting enough or captivating. I feel like usually what I like in a video is where from the start of the video is just clear what the goal of the video is, and then throughout the video we find out how they reach that goal and what happens along the way, and it's an interesting way of showing everything they've done to like stay captivating. Yeah, I think that's like what I look for in a video. Or usually, like, I guess there's other content as well where it's just funny throughout. There's certain people that I like, Cody Ko for example, I just like to watch because he has an interesting way of presenting things. Moist Critical is interesting as well because he like shows news in a way, like things happening on the internet in an interesting way. Yeah, that's like the main stuff I watch on YouTube, I think.
1 week of no RuneScape or 1 day of Valorant?
Wait. I have to choose. Wait, what's the I have to choose between 1 week of not playing RuneScape,
Yeah.
or 1 day of Valorant, and then I can play RuneScape afterwards.
No RuneScape that day, but
Well, yeah. I mean, I would just play a day of Valorant because then I can be productive for the rest of the week.
if you would be a porn actor, what would your name be?
Poor. That is something I've never really thought about. See, I don't really watch porn, so I don't really know what kind of name people have. I guess the one that most people would say.
Porn?
I mean, I guess a name that other people would say is probably like Titius or something, like something tit related, because it sounds like my name. Let's just go with that.
If you would make a game for yourself, what would it be?
A game for myself.
Yeah.
Something that requires very small amount of effort to make if I have to make it myself. If you're asking like if I could choose to make a game so that I would find it interesting, what I'm looking for, I don't know. I guess something similar to RuneScape, where there's a lot of repetitive things to do that I can just grind out. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing else to add, really.
What's your favorite biscuit?
I like anything with speculoos. Or Biscoff, whatever you want to call it in English. Those are usually my favorite things. Big fan of that.
To prop or to fold?
Oh, you mean like
Wipe
toilet
your-
paper? Right. I'm a folder for sure. And I also always make sure that I fold the exact same amount of sheets. Wait, is that weird? I don't know. Why are you laughing? Is that weird?
Yeah.
Like I always have the same toilet paper because I know that I always can do like 2 sheets, and then I pull them and I fold them nicely in like the exact same way every time. Yeah.
Does it comfort you?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it might be. Yeah, never mind. Let's move on to the next question.
Next question was left or right, free interpretation.
What could
Yeah,
they?
you can choose.
Well, I write right-handed. If I ever kicked a ball, it was with my right foot. I carry slightly to the left. Yeah.
Being against the wind or shitting in the rain?
Oh, easily peeing against the wind. Yeah, I'm not a fluent shitter, if you will. Like when I go to the toilet to take a shit, like you can count me out for like 15 minutes because I'll be there for a while. if I had to do that in the rain, that doesn't sound very comfortable. Whereas like pissing against the wind, okay, oh no, some piss on my shoes. Oh, whatever shall I do? That's not the end of the world, you
It
know.
could be like a wind, like.
And then I'll open my mouth. No, no, no. Cut. Oh no, wait, this is a one take. Ah.
How old were you for your first time?
Oh, now we're getting into the nitty gritty of things.
It goes back.
Well, first time of what exactly? I mean, the first time. Well, I'm a pretty, let's call it a late bloomer. Let's say it was like 3 years ago. Yeah. So 26.
Your favorite order in the 3-2?
Kind of depends. Usually, definitely. Well, you can't really do that in English, can you? Like you have to say it. Mini frietje with either speciaal with curry ketchup or mayonnaise and stoofvleessaus or joppie sauce. And then as a snack, I usually take a bikkie, always bikkie burger, and then sometimes something on the side like curryworst speciaal or berenpoot, a barefoot. Those are the main things I usually go for, yeah.
A bit in the same thing, but if you would stream another game, which one would it be?
I feel like that's hard to say because I would probably look for something that, you know, also works, that I get viewers with, that I can maybe make YouTube videos of. So it would depend on like the result of me trying out different games and finding one that works for me at that point. If I had to like switch from RuneScape to something else.
Are you keeping it secret?
No.
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 You're not afraid RuneScape going away anytime?
I don't think so. I mean, the player base is pretty much bigger than ever, I think, nowadays, so it's doing pretty well. I think it'll last a few more years for sure.
What do you find the pros and the contrasts of streaming platforms? Like, this is a pro for Twitch, this is a pro for YouTube?
I mean, I think a lot of platforms have obviously tried to like become a new big platform and pretty much failed. I think Twitch is just too big to fail right now because it's just the go-to platform for streaming. I think like when you try and go to YouTube and you want to search like live streamers for a specific game or whatever, I feel like the discoverability is just so bad because the one time I've tried to go and look through streams on YouTube, you just end up on a page where all the streams are just clumped together and it's like, here you go, find someone you like. And I just don't feel like there's any real match for Twitch. The people that move to different platforms is usually a business deal or people like thinking they're new to something, so that's why they have a better chance at succeeding there. For example, Kick nowadays. I don't really see that being very viable long term unless they make a lot of changes, but yeah, I just don't feel like there's a real competitor for Twitch right now, and I don't know if that'll change anytime soon.
Can you describe streaming for someone who doesn't know anything about it?
See, I've had that a few times recently, where you know, someone's like, so what do you do for a job? And I'm like, well, I play video games and other people watch me play them. And one of the questions they asked me was like, so is it like a 9 to 5? Like, how does that work? And I'm like, well, you know, everyone has their own schedule. You know, people just show what they're doing on a video game and other people watch in a chat room and they react to you and they interact with you and you respond to their messages. But yeah, to a lot of people it's a very weird concept of just watching someone play a video game. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's pretty much the same as watching someone else play sports or anything like that, right? So,
if you could add a feature to Twitch, which one would it be?
A feature? I don't know, that's not really something I've thought about, or it's not really like I've had a moment where I was like, man, if only we had this on Twitch right now, that would be so nice. Or maybe I have and I forgot. That might be the case as well, because I forget things a lot. Well, it's not really a feature, but I think they should bring back like the option to become a premium partner and make that like a very clear goal for people to have.
What do you mean, premium?
Premium partner, like the 70-30 split. I have that still, but they took that away from other people as the goal to reach, and I feel like they should probably bring that back.
Why didn't you went pro in League?
I mean, the time I played with Lowland Lions, we were like top of Benelux the entire time, so it wasn't really pro, it was more like top of the amateur scene at that point. But like to really make it pro, it was just like that extra level you needed to commit to it and like learn a lot more about the game, focus a lot more on like improving meta game and learning champions that are the meta and stuff like that. And that's just something that I wasn't really that interested in. Like I was mainly quote unquote known in like the local community for always playing things that were so against the meta. So I would always play like really off meta champions in the mid lane, things that did not make any sense whatsoever. But I found it fun to find like ways to still win with those champions against people playing normal champions. But yeah, that doesn't really suit the pro play style, obviously, because that doesn't work on pro level. So I never really committed to trying to reach that level, I guess.
How big is your penis?
Well, that's pretty straightforward. I mean, earlier you pretty much asked the question: is it a dagger or a two-handed sword, right? And I said it's a normal sword.
Ah yeah.
So
it could have been about swords as well.
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah.
It definitely could have been, but I think it was more leaning towards that as well, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How big is your shoe size?
I have I have pretty small feet actually. Why that has nothing to do with anything else, right? I have small feet, small hands, doesn't mean anything. But I think it's like a 42, which is pretty small for my height.
To which influencer you look up to?
Well, I don't really like the word influencer when we talk about content creators, obviously. Because I mean, I don't consider myself an influencer, I just play RuneScape. But other RuneScape content creators I look up to, I mean, it's gonna be like the standard settled, Jimmy, Solo Mission, like the people that have just been creating like top-notch content for years now for RuneScape, and people that I look at for inspiration for my own videos as well. So yeah.
What's your favorite band?
Favorite band right now, with recency bias as to who I've been listening to the most recently, it has to be either Comeback Kid or Touche Amore. I would say I've been listening to Comeback Kid the most in my spare time. If I would like, you know, listen to a specific band, it would be them. So we're going with Comeback Kid.
And what's your morning ritual?
My morning ritual is roll out of bed when I wake up randomly, because I don't use an alarm clock, which is usually around like 8 to 9 a.m. nowadays, although the last few days I've been waking up at like 6 a.m. for some reason. I wake up, I roll out of bed, I go to the bathroom, take a look at myself in the mirror, think what the fuck is wrong with you, and then I go to the living room, I open the fridge, grab an energy drink, and I start playing RuneScape.
You do not eat?
No. I don't eat in the morning. I just take my energy drink that'll get me through the early hours, just playing RuneScape, and then by the time we reach noon, I'll eat something before the stream, and then I eat again after the stream.
What do you eat then?
Around noon, I usually, well, it depends. If I have food, like right now, I would either eat just some bread with something in between, or yogurt with granola and blueberries. But if I don't have that in the house, I usually just go get like a sandwich somewhere.
And in the evening, what do you like to eat?
Depends again. Right now it happens to be that I have groceries again, which means it's usually like potatoes. Well, not like cooked potatoes, but like baked potatoes with some kind of meat and a salad. But most often I just order food, which is, you know, either fries and burgers, sushi, things like that. Yeah, I order way too much.
Why did you choose to stream in English?
It's the only thing that makes sense because I made English YouTube videos. I started YouTube before I started committing to streaming as well. I only started streaming a lot more because I made the first few episodes of my main series nowadays that people started enjoying a lot more, and people just started asking me if I would start streaming it as well.
How did you thought of your name?
My name Tedious?
Yeah.
That actually goes back to another RuneScape content creator, which I will now also add to the list of people I look up to, which is Bodhi. Basically, like 9 years ago, he started a very famous series on RuneScape called One Man Army, where he started playing one of the first Iron Man accounts on RuneScape, where you do everything self-sufficiently. And in his videos, he would often like refer to certain activities as them being tedious because it would just be doing the same thing over and over again in a way that people usually didn't do because people are usually not self-sufficient. And then I made my own Iron Man account and I called it So Tedious because he always said things were so tedious. And then that's the name I ended up sticking with throughout like the years of playing RuneScape afterwards.
What is better, rituals or lush?
I don't know the second one, but I use Rituals products, so let's go with Rituals.
Sushi or pizza?
I like both a lot, but I feel like I prefer sushi a lot more. Yeah.
Would someone that streams in Dutch would be able to get partner numbers with RuneScape?
There's a few. Wait, let me think. There's definitely some people that stream RuneScape in Dutch. I don't know if they are partner though. I'm trying to think real hard. I think most people just decide to stream in English if they stream RuneScape. There's a few Dutch people that stream in English that are partner in the OSRS section, but I don't know if any Dutch speaking creators are. I don't think so. I feel like it's definitely a lot harder. Like obviously your audience is going to be a lot smaller in an already pretty niche environment, so I feel like it's not the greatest move if you really want to try and reach that partner point.
What work would you do if you wouldn't stream or play YouTuber?
Probably some data related stuff again. I used to work as a data entry manager mostly. For like 2 years I did data entry. And then I tried data analysis at some other place after getting fired. But I only did that for 2 weeks, and then I did data entry somewhere else for 2 weeks, and then I ended up starting this, so probably something along those lines again.
Would you aanraden?
Yeah, on guessing.
Would you aanraden?
I can't think of it either. Yeah, it's fine.
Would you aanraden content creation for a happy life? Recommend.
Recommend. Yeah, exactly. Good job. That's such an easy word as well. I think it doesn't really depend on like content creation. Like it's very hard to say. I feel like everyone treats it differently. I think it's more about how you go about doing it rather than the job itself. I wouldn't recommend doing it the way I'm doing it, where you just play RuneScape literally every day, all day, without doing anything else. I feel like you should look for a balance in life, as with everything. But yeah, obviously every job has like, you know, good points and bad points. I do like, you know, the freedom of it is very nice, which I think is the main benefit from it. But yeah.
What do you prefer, real life or RuneScape?
That's a bit like, how do you, I don't know how to answer that. Like I spend most of my time on RuneScape. I genuinely spend more time playing RuneScape than doing stuff in real life. But obviously like doing stuff in real life is also important. I don't really feel like I should make a decision between the two.
How do you keep yourself happy?
Setting goals, making sure to every now and then like keep a list of things that you would otherwise take for granted. I feel like that has been helping me recently. It's a bit weird, but like it's in a lyric of one of the songs from Touche Amore, where he sings about taking inventory of things you take for granted. And I think if you just like make sure that you don't lose sight of everything and stay focused on your goals, stay productive, stay healthy. I don't know, just the general things really.
How much do you earn?
I mean, I don't mind talking about that. I know a lot of people are like very secretive about it. I mean, I don't earn that, like it's not like I'm a fucking ballin' like crazy. I earn about the same as I used to at my normal job, I think. I mean, it's just that it varies so often, Like 1 month I can make 6,000, 1 month I can make 2,000. Obviously pre-taxes. And I've had, several periods where I had like a few months break for, several reasons. Yeah, I think like the last 3 years, my average yearly gross income has been like 40K maybe. Yeah.
How hard did you cry with the crypto crash?
I didn't.
What crypto do you have?
Well, I still have Ethereum mainly. Yeah.
Would you advise people to invest in it?
No. Yeah, I've lost many years of my life, I think, with all the stress that came with it. Mostly with NFTs, but yeah, that's a long story. That's a very long story and a still ongoing one as well.
You don't want to talk about that story. That's for another interview, I guess.
Yeah, that's maybe
okay.
for with a pincher.
Yeah. How long do you wish to continue, and do you have a plan B?
I don't really know. I feel like as long as it goes well, I'll probably stay. Like I'll probably keep doing this. I mean, I've been saying for a while now that as soon as I reach 100,000 subscribers on YouTube and get that physical like button thing or whatever it is, that's when I feel like I've definitely reached like the big goal of doing all this. But it doesn't mean I'll just instantly quit after that, obviously. But like it'll probably get to a point where I'm just not really getting the numbers anymore, or I don't feel like I want to put in all the hours anymore. But I don't know when that'll be. So yeah.
And what would the plan B be?
I don't have a plan B, we'll see.
Did you score some females or men with the RuneScape? If so, how many, and do you have pictures?
No, absolutely not. So the rest doesn't apply either.
Did you try seducing someone with RuneScape?
No, not
knowledge?
really.
No.
No.
Okay.
I don't talk with women, they scare me.
Would you ever cosplay as a RuneScape character?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I've worn worse things on stream before. I'm definitely not going through the effort of like trying to make my own cosplay or arranging it myself. But if someone would be like, yo, I need you to cosplay as this, I have everything for it right here, come and do it for whatever reason it is, I would probably do it. Like I wouldn't really care that much about it. But it's not really an ambition of mine.
Is old school RuneScape, is it really better than RuneScape 3, and why?
It's better in the sense that it has a lot more players and the general feel towards it is that it's better, but I think RuneScape 3 is still a pretty solid game as well for different reasons. People compare them a lot, but I feel like they're definitely two standalone games nowadays that both have their positives and negatives. The only problem with RuneScape 3 is that it's much like a lot of other MMOs nowadays. I think it's very bloated with like microtransactions and stuff like that. whereas old school RuneScape is a lot more bare bones and, you know, mainly focused on just the game itself. So obviously my preference is old school RuneScape, but I've played RuneScape 3 a fair bit as well.
Would you advise to people to start playing old school RuneScape now?
I think it's definitely, I mean, there's a lot of people that still start playing the game nowadays, even if they never played it before, and enjoy it as well. So if you feel like trying it, you may as well give it a go and see if you like it. But for a lot of people, it's probably not their type of game because of how old it feels and how repetitive everything is. But you know, like everything, it doesn't hurt to try.
That's true. What's your favorite RuneScape thing that you ever bought in game or in real life?
Ooh. I mean, that's a bit, I don't know, something I bought in, like a favorite thing. I mean, there's gear you buy, but it's not really like I have a favorite. I can say like one of the favorite things I've received that I didn't buy, but I got as a reward from, like I got a 3rd Age Kite Shield on my first Elite Clue, which was super hype. I got a Bloodhound very early on from Master Clues, which was really awesome. I got a Twisted Bow with an Omelette pet early on in Chambers of Xeric. It's more like, you know, I have favorite things that happen, but I don't really have something that I bought myself. Yeah.
I think we already had this question, but who's your favorite streamer?
Like overall or specifically RuneScape? My favorite streamer, well, funnily enough, my favorite streamer used to be someone called Idol, but then he decided to stop streaming RuneScape. He was like, you know, similar size to me, maybe a bit smaller, not physically, but like, you know, content creation wise. Yeah, obviously. But yeah, he's mainly focused on like doing YouTube nowadays, which is a shame. I really used to enjoy his streams a lot. I really like Only Trails. He's a good friend of mine who also is from Antwerp and streams RuneScape. Other than that, the streams I watch the most are probably you in the morning, and
I didn't pay you.
no.
Just for clarity.
Like, I'm just thinking of streams that I visit the most.
You want to see a squirrel? There's a squirrel in the tree.
Where? I don't see it.
Yeah, there on the. He's on top of the.
Which one? This one or that one?
Yeah.
Oh, I see it there
yeah,
on the
nice,
small branches. Oh my god.
That was the last question. Should I just pen to the squirrel?
Yeah, if you can do that.
That would be.
That would be a beautiful outro as well.
Did you want to say something else?
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe to Abu and watch all his other videos to get him watch time. Yes, good.
Oh, it's too far away, I think. Can you make some? Maybe we should do some foley. Can you do some squirrel noises?
What does a squirrel sound like? Yo, no way, I got an agility pet. Oh my god. Okay, cut. That'll do.